Hello, guys. Welcome back to this YouTube channel. It is so good to see you again. In today's video, we'll be talking about the part two section of why people get rejected from scholarships, okay, and some of the selection criteria for different scholarships. And if you have not seen the part one section of this video, I strongly suggest that you see the part one section of this video. The link will be on the description section of this video. Go back and watch it before you continue with this video, because when you watch the part one, it becomes easier for you to understand the part two section. Okay, the part two section is a continuation of the part one. Okay, and secondly, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jude, and I am a current Erasmus Mundus student studying public health in disaster in Europe, and my program run across Spain, Sweden, and South Cyprus. So please stay tuned to our channel. And thirdly, please, if you have not liked our video, please do well to like this video, do well to subscribe to our channel, and do well to leave a comment on the comment section, either a compliment or a question, and we'll be happy to see that and address it. You may be getting rejection because of plagiarism. Yes, you may give someone your CV to revamp for you, and then you may give someone your motivation letter to redo for you. This same person will do the same thing for another person, and this same person will do it for another person. And before you know it, three people's CV, they are very similar and they are almost the same. Three persons' motivation letter applying for the same program, they are very similar. I advise you, please try as much as possible to do these things on your own. Avoid any chance of plagiarism. Every document you submit to these organizations, they pass it through plagiarism software. Okay, they pass it through it, and immediately they discover that it has high level of similarity index. You're going to be rejected. Okay, so and avoid sharing your motivation letter as someone who is aspiring for a scholarship. I've posted some of the documents and some of the information that you need about drafting SOP, drafting motivation letter, your CV, and all that. You can do some of these things yourself. When you share your documents everywhere, you share a document to Mr. A, share a document to Mr. B. Before you know it, some of the information in your document will start going out, and some people will start using some of this information. And before you know it, you are already being held for plagiarism. Okay, so I've actually taught you how to write motivation letter. There is no need trying to send your motivation letter to everyone that cares to listen to you, because the person has a scholarship and the person must go through your scholarship package. Please reduce the number of people you give it. If you must give it to someone to review, please let it be at least maximum of admin, maximum of one person. Okay, and be confident with yourself. You have done the best, you have followed the rules, and you are definitely going to increase your chances of getting scholarship. Imagine a situation where you take out time to write your scholarship application package, your motivation letter, and all that. Then you submit it and you are rejected immediately because of plagiarism. It happens. Yeah. A very good candidate, very smart and all that. You'll be wondering why. These are some of the reasons. Please don't be sending out your documents anywhere. Okay. Pay attention to who you send your document to, and try and do some of these things yourself and be confident with what you have done. Another reason you may be getting rejection may be that you are avoiding relevant prompts. Okay, when you are making your application, there are prompts, questions that come out, and some of these questions you may ignore them because of maybe some other reasons I wouldn't know. And maybe they're asking you question like, are there other programs you're applying in this scholarship? In Erasmus Mundus scholarship, you can apply to more than three programs. Okay, and even in that scholarship, you can apply to a maximum of three programs. And during as you are filling the scholarship form, and you are asked, are there other programs you're applying for? And you mistakenly write no, whether it's a mistake or not. And they find out that the same name appears for other programs within the same scholarship. You're going to get rejection mail because this is a rule breaker. They asked you, are you applying for other programs? And you wrote no. But they are seeing your name appearing for other scholarship programs. I mean, other programs within the scholarship. So please try as much as possible to follow the prompt. Don't make this mistake. You can have a beautiful application, and then because of this tiny mistake, yes, it's very tiny, but then it can cost you your chance of getting a life-changing opportunity like getting a fully funded scholarship. Please, whatever prompts they are putting up on the application website, follow them one after the other. Try to understand what the scholarship is requesting for with that questions they are prompting, and try to follow it and give an accurate information as much as possible. If you are applying for need-based scholarship, that is scholarship that are awarded based on financial difficulty, it is not enough for you to just tell them that you are poor or you are from a poor background or that you have suffered too much. No, it's not enough. You must show them what you have done over the years, even with the limited resources. We have scholarships such as the Alan and Nesta Ferguson Scholarship in the United Kingdom. The scholarship is a need-based scholarship, and we also have the Mastercard Scholarship all over the world. It's also a need-based scholarship. Okay, but they are not just interested in having financial difficulty. You need to show them with evidence that this is what you have achieved. Maybe you have achieved, a good grade as an undergraduate. You have led some programs, volunteering programs, even with the financial difficulties. You have done some projects, something like that. You must show them, some of the things you have done, even with the limited resources. Don't just say that you don't have money and stop at that. Please show them what you have done, quantify them, put numbers to the stuffs that you have done over the years. If you don't do this, if you don't show them that you are somebody they should invest their money into, they're not going to do that. Another person is going to get the scholarship and you're going to get rejection mail if you don't do this. Yes, the person may even be doing better financially than you. Yes, it's a need-based scholarship, but they maybe still be awarding the scholarship to people who are financially, better than you. If you don't make this thing very clear. Now, for need-based scholarship too, the way you present your need also matters. If you don't present your need in a way that actually shows that you are, living in a limited resource setting, you may get rejected. Yes, uh, you have to, convert some of the money, some of the income you earn from your local currency to the currency where the scholarship body is located, so that they will be able to understand. If you don't do that, they will not understand your financial status. So, for example, in our country, we use the naira. So, if you are telling the scholarship body that maybe you are coming from a poor background and your parents maybe they earn, let's say, maybe 30,000 naira in a month. Yes, 30,000 naira in a month. And then you didn't really, put it in a context where the panelists, they are going to understand what is the difference between the 30,000 naira your parents are earning with the actual amount of money that is requested, that is needed to actually live a comfortable life in your home country. If you don't put this thing into perspective, you are not going to sell yourself very well, and they're not going to see the need for them to give you this scholarship, and you are likely going to get rejected. Even though in reality, someone who has a family that is earning 30,000 naira and the person still went to the university, graduated with a bachelor's degree, that's a whole lot of this is a big feat to achieve. Okay, but because you didn't represent this thing very well in your application, you are likely going to get rejection for that particular application. So please try as much as possible to represent your needs clearly, so that your interviewers or the panelists or the selection committee is going to really understand your situation very well. Do you know that some people are rejected because of the number of applications that are coming in for the program? Yes, the number of application matters also. It actually plays a role whether you're going to be accepted or not. Some programs, such as the graduate research assistant positions in the US, when a professor or a principal investigator announces PhD position or master's position by research, and then they said they are going to, the program is going to be open till the right candidate is selected. So the applications are coming in. The number of it may be like two slots, yes, and then they are getting maybe like 3,000 applications, CVs, motivation letter, cover letter, and all that. They are getting them. The applications are much. That alone has already put some people at a disadvantage, because The reviewers, they are likely going to review the earliest application. Most times they are going to go down to their email to get the earliest of the application and start reviewing. And as they are reviewing, the best candidate they come first, the best candidate they meet within their review time frame, is going to get the scholarship. Maybe your application is very nice and beautiful, you submitted maybe 2 months later, or you submitted 1 month later. So those people that submitted very early can actually get this scholarship, and you're already disadvantaged and you're getting rejection mail. And sometimes some of these scholarships don't even send you rejection mail, they will just leave you. And then you already know that you are rejected for that scholarship. I think some scholarship I applied then I didn't get response from the professors. Some of those ones I applied in the US. So it can be one of the reasons why you are getting rejection mail. So what does this tell you? It gives you an idea that you should make your application early as possible. However, some application, it doesn't really matter whether you submitted early or you submitted late. It doesn't matter for some application, such as those ones like Chevening Scholarship, Commonwealth Scholarship, the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship. Some of them, it doesn't matter. But please, if you have the opportunity to submit your application early for any of the scholarship, both those of them you submit via email and those of them you submit via their website, please do it as early as possible. Do you know that someone can actually get rejected just because the people who are reviewing these documents are tired? Yes, they are human beings. They can get tired. So if you submit your application early, you are going to get your application reviewed early. It is not the same for every scholarship. And these are certain things sometimes you may not have control over. But if you have the opportunity to submit your application early, I always emphasize on it. Submit early. For these scholarships that or graduate assistant positions that you apply in the US and in Canada, you apply it through via email and all that. If you apply for these positions, sometimes you even apply it through their university website. If you apply for this position and you have one or two lecturers who are there who are reviewing these stuff, they don't have all the time in the world to review every application. So maybe they've gotten like 1,000 application, and each of them is expected to review 500 application each, and they're just two. So when they review the application and they are getting, maybe they just give them like 2 weeks deadline. They may get tired during the process, and towards the end, maybe your application is there. They're not going to give it an objective mindset. They're already tired. It's a natural process, so they are not going to give it an objective consideration, and then you just get rejected just because someone else is tired. Yes, it happens. It's normal. Okay, so it is advisable to avoid and reduce the chances of this thing happening. Submit your application as early as possible. It increases your chance of getting a success mail and reduces your chances of getting rejection mails. Do you also know that you can actually get rejected because the program changed their policy over the years and you didn't know? Maybe you applied for Chevening program this year and you know how their essay will be: leadership, network, your career plan, and your personal statement. These are the common four essays. And then the following year, maybe you got rejected the previous year. The following year, you're now applying. You thought it is the same essay, the same title, everything is the same. You didn't even go to the website to see if there are changes in policy. You didn't check anything. You start making application. You now realize that you didn't even realize you just submitted. You are thinking, because of the preparation I've made over the years, and between last year and this year, I'm going to get the scholarship. You didn't know that maybe they have changed one of the essays. You didn't know maybe they have changed the title of one of the essays or the eligibility criteria. There was a time Chevening requested that people have IELTS for you to apply for Chevening scholarship. But currently you don't really need to have the IELTS to apply for Chevening scholarship. It's no longer a criteria. Okay, so what if they bring it back tomorrow? So it's important that when a scholarship makes announcement, go back to the website, look at what they need, and look at everything, and be sure that it hasn't changed. Okay, don't just make the assumption that I know the scholarship, it is this and that, and then you just make your application without going through it, because the sponsors of some of the scholarship change. Yeah, and then the ideas of these sponsors, they change from time to time. The scholarship may be tomorrow, they may be today they're interested in leadership, they're interested in networking, and tomorrow they change their criteria, they're interested in academic excellence, and that's their priority. So if you didn't pay attention to this, you may not really know some of these changes. Another reason why some people get rejection may be because they didn't pay attention to the return policy. Yes, some scholarship request that the applicants have a plan to return back to their home country to implement some of the things that they've learned during their scholarship programs. So if during your essay write-ups and all that, there is no clear plan, there is no clear method or clear strategy for you to implement some of the things you're going to learn during your scholarship back at home, you may get rejection mail if you don't have this. Okay. For example, the Chevron scholarship, they don't joke with it. When you're writing your Chevron essay, it is important that there is a clear strategy and plan for you to return back to your home country, for you to implement some of the things that you have learned in the UK. Another reason some people get rejection may be because they didn't really talk about how they network with people. Most scholarship are interested in networking. Networking is an amazing skill. It's an amazing, stuff to have in your CV, in your motivation letter, and all that. Your ability to connect with Mr. A, Mr. B, and Mr. C. They are interested in that. You have to highlight it in your CV, highlight it in your motivation letter, and state it very clear. At every scholarship, they are interested in networking because it is through networking you solve most of the problems around the world. You can't do this. You can't solve these problems alone. There is no scholarship that is not interested in your networking ability. You have to show them. So if you have done, publication is, and maybe you have done publication with others. Okay, it's a way to show that you have the skill to connect with people. Okay, so if you have also done volunteering works, mention these stuffs. It's very important. There is no scholarship that will not request and that will not want to see your ability to network with people. Without networks, you will not be able to solve any of the global problems, any of the local problems. You can't solve any of these problems alone. So your ability to network, you have to highlight it very well in every part of your application. Do you know that you may also be getting rejection mail because of grammar errors? Yeah, grammar errors are very common, and there are softwares that can actually help you, such as the Grammarly, to correct some errors. Please try as much as possible to use them. Do the corrections and make sure they are, grammatically very correct. You have enough time to do the editing. Please do it both on your CV and both on your motivation letter and even the reference letter. Yes, nobody is above mistakes. Okay, we understand that very well. But during scholarship application, if you have some of these errors repeat many times in your application, these grammar errors, you can get rejection mail. If there is a tie between two or three persons, they will just drop the person with a lot of errors in their application package. Please, this is something very simple to do. After all the hurdles and all the stress you pass through to put these documents together, try as much as possible to remove every form of grammar error. Yes, please. If you're applying for US graduate assistant position, graduate research assistant, or graduate teaching assistant, please, you need to have research and teaching experience. If it is not highlighted in your CV, it is an automatic rejection. Yes, you can be coming for a teaching position or a research position and you don't have a research experience and you don't have a teaching experience. Even if you have them and you don't highlight them very well, both in your motivation letter and in your CV, if you don't highlight them very well, there are chances that you get rejected. Please put this teaching and research skills that you have or experience at the top of your application. If you have other skills and other experiences that you have that are not in line with teaching and research, please move them downwards. Because most times when these reviewers open your application package, they look the first two pages, okay, especially for the CV, they are looking for a particular thing. Immediately they see it and that's good, they give you your full mark and then they move on. So please try and highlight them. Remember that your undergraduate project is a research experience. If you did NYSC and you taught in a school, it's also a teaching experience. If you did tutorials for your fellow students during undergraduate program, it's also a teaching experience. Okay, so you can add them up to your CV and make your application. Thank you so much, guys, for staying till the end of this video. And if you have listened from the beginning to this point, I'm sure you must have learned one or two things about the reasons why people get scholarship and some of the selection criteria. These are some of the things that people don't usually talk about. Okay, so learn some of these things. You can watch them as many times as possible and try to apply some of the things I've mentioned in this video in your scholarship application. If you follow some of these things I've mentioned, you're going to increase your chances of success and definitely you're going to get your success mail soonest. And another thing I will beg you, please, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do well to subscribe to our channel. Do well to like this video. Do well to share this video with your friends. You have friends who are also applying for scholarships. Please share it to them. You also have neighbors, friends, and family members who are interested in scholarships. Please share this video to them. They may learn one or two things from it. And if you have found this video also very helpful, do well to put a comment on the comment section, and I'll be happy to see it, and we'll respond as soon as possible. Until we see you next time, remain healthy, remain fine, and keep chasing your dream. Okay? Bye.